Record. Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Uncle Bruce with English Brazil, and I'm here today with Juvenal. How are you doing, Juvenal?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. Hi everybody.
So today we're talking about technology and talking about energy. And
Yes.
the topic today, I'll share the screen with you here right now, so you can see the article name of the article that we are using. And so it's called New Storage Solution Poised to Revolutionize the Energy Sector with Groundbreaking Thermal Technology, Critical to Reach Net Zero. So this article was interesting, and I love technology. I love science. So I like to read these articles to understand what different groups of people are working on to try to make things better for our society, our global society. So let's go ahead and start talking about this topic here. This is showing lots of tubes and then a green like storage unit. You can see the tubes, and the tubes are based on vapor and heat. And so the vapor and heat are generating the heat that goes into the green unit, which is a like a battery, if you want to say that, but it's full of sand. It has a lot of sand in it. So it was really kind of different, different because it's not like the battery type of material, which is nickel and cadmium, lithium,
Hmm.
and all these different rare um, and metal, metals in general. Nickel is not that rare, but still, it's using a lot of rare materials and metal materials, which to get those things, it takes a lot of mining, and you have to, as a country or a company trying to get these materials, it takes a lot. Excuse me, a lot to get those materials out of the earth to use. But this is
Hmm.
using basically sand, and I know they had the word steel in their process, and there
Yeah.
was there was another material which I'll find here in a second. But it's very simple, simplistic. So this is being done in I think it was done being done in Italy, but now I'm reading something about Denmark. But it has an Italian name, Magaldi. So
Magal. Yeah.
using this vapor storing device, it also has sand and steel. And what was the other material inside of this storage unit? Do you remember? I'm looking for it right now, and I don't see it real quickly. But
Yeah, me too.
okay, so anyway, what is the significance here of this storage device? Is that number one, it's not dirty like with other fuels and storage devices. It's not dirty. It's getting us close to net zero,
Hmm.
which means we're not polluting the environment as we're trying to create and use energy. So, net zero emissions is the idea of not using or not creating greenhouse gases due to human activities.
Yes.
And so that was the main thing that caught my attention, besides the fact that it's not using precious metals. And so I thought it was interesting looking at this device, and they're talking about having this operational this year yet. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. 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 Uh, yeah. Yeah. I think talking about technology, I think this kind of stuff it's given already. So we have to live with that. And technology is very important to our life. So this is the first point. Another point is how to reduce the impact on environment. For example, I had the opportunity to travel in the beginning of this year to Atacama, where I saw uh, some mines, some sources of um, lithium.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if it was cadmium or lithium. I think lithium.
Okay.
And the impact is huge, you know. And so it's very important to see this kind of initiatives that intend to reduce this impact, and on the other hand, developing new materials, uh, new process to produce energy to store energy, and it's pretty cool. I think it's something very important to us as a society, and
Hmm.
to see this kind of process that avoid to mine new materials from the nature. It's quite cool,
Hmm.
pretty cool, pretty cool.
I totally agree. So electricity is good. You have hydroelectricity that we can generate through dams,
Hmm.
and that's very good to know. The other material that's inside of this is silicone.
Silicon, yeah.
Yes. So that's another material that's in there. So, and it said in the article that this vapor is creating like a liquidized sand. So it's no it's
Hmm.
fluidized, so that it's moving and it's
Okay.
heated up to very high temperatures. I think the temperature was 752 degrees Fahrenheit, which I don't know how hot that is when Celsius, but
Hmm.
it's hot, very, very hot. And so it's just a way of storing energy in this cylinder, this green cylinder that they show in the picture, and then dispersing and letting the energy out again, which is the
Hmm.
vapor. Because the vapor inside, it's able to turn turbines, which create the electricity for us to use in our households. So that's how they present this project. That it's going
Hmm.
to be something they can store the energy with the vapor, the hot vapor, and then release the vapor, and then that releasing of the vapor turns the turbines, which then create electricity. So that's the
Sure.
concept
Well,
that they're going to have.
yeah, it's good. It's good to hear that they are not developing nothing or anything using more plastics, because
Right, right.
plastics is the bad, it's the bad guy of the for environment, and
Mm-hmm.
especially I was reading an article some days ago that
Mm-hmm.
was saying that the colored plastic is quite badly to the nature, uh,
Mm.
comparing to the transparent one,
Mm.
transparent plastics. And
Interesting.
yeah, very interesting,
Hmm.
very interesting. And I think that there are a lot of I think the usage or the application of plastics, reach a very maybe dangerous level for us,
Mm-hmm.
because it's quite difficult to recycle or you know to to dispose in the nature.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, the idea of having um, kind of more of a natural type of material to work with, like sand and
Mm-hmm.
the silica, which is like quartz, which is very common in the earth. Okay, it's not hard to find. It's pretty easy to find.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then steel. I don't know. I think the steel is to help retain the heat inside of the
Yeah.
cells. More like the cells that we have in a battery, in a car battery. They have electrodes. It's metal plates that
Yeah.
are attracting and then expelling the electrons inside of the liquid. So it's just similar in nature but different. It's because it doesn't have the chemical um, property of like a regular battery of nickel cadmium. This
Mm-hmm.
is using basically vapor, heat, water. And so it's pretty
That's
cool.
good.
Um,
Sounds good.
I didn't understand where they're getting their heat from, how they're creating the heat initially. I didn't capture that. And so that's something that would need to be understood better.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're using fossil fuel to create the initial vapor. I don't know. I did get that from the article. Did you understand that? How they're getting their
Yeah, it's
initial heat?
it's not so clear. Yeah.
So this basically the transfer of the heat coming out of the storage unit, which then
Mm-hmm.
they can transfer into vapor that can be used to turn turbines. So,
That's cool. That's cool. I think such as we could be able to use more and more some some phenomenons from the nature like wind, sand,
mhm.
uh, water. It's a little controversial because it's something that the scientists states that it's it's quite how can I say in a process of extinction, if I can say that, because it's finite, not infinite resources.
Finite?
Uh,
Uh-huh.
Finite, yeah,
Okay.
finite.
Okay.
So it's a little controversial, but the idea is such as we could be able to use more and more, you know, uh, sources of power from nature,
Hmm.
and that today we are not able to use. It's better. I
Hmm.
think that there is some initiatives on Europe, if I'm not wrong, where I think in France they use the power of waves from the
Yes,
sea.
yes. I've heard
Yeah,
about that.
or wind in Brazil. The point in Brazil, everything, it's how can I say? It's addressed to the bank account of politicians. So that's the problem,
Hmm.
But we have especially on the northeast, um, a weather that produce wind a lot.
Hmm.
So
And sun.
and sun,
Yes.
yes, for sure,
Yes.
for sure.
So the idea, I just glanced again at the article, and from what I understand, they're talking about taking vapor that is used in processes of fabrication and production of creating things, and taking
Hmm.
that excess amount of vapor and putting it into the system that they're creating. So they're like taking the secondary vapor that is going through a system that's used to do some type of fabrication of products of things
Hmm.
that are being created, and they take that and they filter it through this other system, which then captures that heat, that vapor, and then stores it for future use when they want to create more electricity. by releasing it through a turbine system to create the electricity.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. And maybe because vapor, for example, you can, it's a kind of a clean energy, and at the end of the process, you can release in the environment because it's not a polluted material.
Yeah, it's
So
just basically water.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So very pretty cool.
Yep. So the idea that it's mixed in with sand and silica and steel, it doesn't cause pollution. So it's getting closer to what we call the net zero, which is zero
Hmm.
pollution going into the environment. And that's what our goal is. And so the scientists that are doing all these studies and trying to understand how we can do this better, yeah, they're coming along with some pretty good ideas. So I like to read about these things.
Sure, sure.
So
Very important. Very important.
yeah, so that was the topic for today, and you know, we don't need to go further and further because it's a short article, but it talks about new technologies, and that's what we wanted to point out today, is that some of the things that are coming out for people to think about, and you never know when you can employ these new technologies into your current operations. Like I
Hmm.
was saying, they're going to take the existing vapor system that's in a company that's being used for vapor purposes, creating pressures and things like that to create energy, and using that system to then capture the excess and using it in a battery type storage until they want to use it to create electricity. So I think it's pretty cool. So it's something that's going to be released over this next couple of months, I guess. They're going to implement it in some type of company, and then they're going to
Hmm.
observe it and study it, and hopefully make it available to the public for purchasing this option of capturing vapor and reusing it. So pretty cool.
Sure. And we need this type of initiatives mainly on agribusiness,
Do you know of
because
different things happening in Brazil along these lines? Do you know of anything about some
yeah,
scientific groups? Where would you say is a good university for engineering of energy?
we have some institutions that graduate a lot of talented people, uh, uh, like engineers or physicians, not physicals,
Physics, yes.
physics. Um, but you know, the point is maybe Brazil does not pay a lot of attention on this kind of a field of to research, developing new technologies or stuff like
If you
that.
wanted to be an engineer in Brazil, which school would you go to?
I think the number one is USP,
Do they have
you
engineering
know.
there? A good engineering
Yeah,
program? Okay.
yeah. Engineer, chemistry,
Hmm.
and yeah, all this kind of science that produce things like that. Um Unicamp, I'm not sure. Unicamp is a very good school for economy, management, but science, I'm not sure.
Okay.
There are some good schools on the Northeast. Like
Okay.
there are some that belongs to the government.
Hmm.
They are federal
Federal
institutions.
schools. Okay.
Yeah,
National.
federal schools, especially on medicine, engineering. You know.
Okay.
So, but the number one is USP.
Okay.
USP is one of I think he occupies or he's take part of the 100, maybe the rank of most important schools, and maybe it is between the 50 good schools in Americas.
Mhm. Well,
It's
I
a
know
good
people
school.
call USP the Harvard of Brazil.
Good question.
No, I've heard
Good
people say that
question.
that USP is considered like the Harvard of Brazil.
Yeah,
Harvard in the
could
United States
yeah,
compared to
and
so.
could be. I think
Okay.
the majority of the opinion uh, builders,
Mhm.
or come from USP in
Okay.
general.
Hmm. Okay. Very good. So
Yeah.
anyway, let's go ahead and stop for today. Thank you guys for joining us again. Hope that we'll hear from you, and you can make some comments on the videos as we post it in YouTube, and we can start to understand your opinions too, not only ours and our ideas. So we look forward to hearing from you. So see you later.
Bye bye, people. Was a pleasure. See you next time.